Hey, Xand, I want you to be Captain Truth now, as always. Behind the headlines, we're always reading about alcohol and, if people are doing dry January now, there's different conflicting headlines saying alcohol is good for you, it's bad for you, a little bit is good for you. What is the truth, please, Xand?
OK, the truth is that... OK, hang on. I know it sounds like I'm not doing the truth now, but I'm going to do the truth. But let me frame this by saying this is my most frustrating bit of sort of medical journalism, science journalism, is the endlessly confusing stories about alcohol. You open the papers on almost any day, you will find a story saying red wine is good for you, red wine is bad for you, a beer is the same as going to the gym, beer causes cancer, like all these different things. It's so confusing. So the truth is, a lot of research is paid for by the alcohol industry. Partly they want to say that alcohol is good for you, and we're willing to accept that message because particularly things like red wine have a ceremonial, kind of medicinal quality. There's a traditional idea.
I like to cherry-pick the headlines, I believe, a little bit.
We all do it.
A little glass of Rioja. I'm like, well, it is a bit good.
It's a bit medicinal. It's a traditional drink.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is, before I say what I think about the physical effects of alcohol, I do drink myself. Alcohol is part of our culture. It's part of major world religions. It's not terrible to drink, but you must not think that alcohol is good for you. The research that says it's good for you is all suspect, industry-funded or poor quality. So the main thing to understand is every drink you have is doing you some physical harm. It's not just liver disease, it's blood pressure, it's heart disease, it's cancer, there are lots of things, but I think a lot of people, including members of my family, would say, I might not be married if I hadn't had a drink. There are things where it can be enjoyable and nice to have a drink, so I'm not opposed to it, but don't believe it's good for you. That's the truth.
So one of the headlines over the weekend was red wine could stave off COVID is probably far. Based on that.
So this was very widely reported, and when you looked at the comments on the internet, people said, "Oh, great! I'm going to crack open a bottle." No, this is not good research. Red wine will not cure COVID. Ignore that. If you like red wine, drink it for pleasure. It is not doing you physical good.
How do you really feel about it, though?
I'm glad I've got that off my chest. Thank you for the opportunity.
We're going to stick with health right now because, shockingly, 300